Hello everyone, in this video I want to transfer some magic knowledge to you and tell you about the glyphs, the spells and the magic system overall in our game. So the first thing you have to do is to click on the first gem at the top, then click on spellbook, and here you will see if you have any spells. Your character will start with 0 spells even if you are a wizard, and you will have to find glyphs in the game and research spells. So glyphs, if you click on this button, research spell, glyphs are actually expression of magic that can be found in nature, and those glyphs are needed to build and to research a spell. So imagine that they are like concepts, like for example the arrow can do damage, or life can infuse health into a being, or maybe might can increase your strength. But these are just concepts that when combined can make different spells. The first thing that you need to know is that glyphs are not purified as a default, right? So you have to purify them before you can use them. To purify a glyph, and you see it because it's like grayed out, you take the glyph and you put it in this purify glyph slot. You hear this sound, meaning that the magic started, and in about 1 minute, the glyph will be purified. Then you take a glyph and you actually put it in the research slot, and you click on research. Now, it's important to know that the sequence matters. And so if you put the glyphs in the wrong sequence, in case you have 2 or more, you may fail to research the spell. And then you just click on research, and you see that now we have a new summon missile spell in our spell book. This is our spell book. Now, spells are divided in schools of magic, and there are 6 different schools of magic, with each one having an opposing way. So Crystal Way is opposing the Dark Way, and the Blue Way is opposing the Red Way, and such. Let's review briefly what are the school of magic. So if we go under skills and then we go under magic here, and from the sound you hear that now our glyph is purified, we can see all the 6 school of magic. So Crystal Way is focusing on energy, life and light, and you get the energy from the crystal. The crystal is basically the sun of our world, which is inside a stalactite of an empty hollow world. And this crystal is the one that brings the light from the surface of the planet. This way is gathering magic more directly from the crystal, and so is said to be way more powerful than the others for that, and specifically for healing. Healing and curing diseases, curing wounds, that is the right magic way. And the opposing way, let me go to the bottom, is Dark Way, which is focusing on entropy, death, and darkness. And that is probably one of the most innovative school of magic, where people are researching very creative spells, but also very dangerous spells. And they say that Dark Way can actually control undead, or other creatures, can steal the life and the strength from a being. If we go with the others, you have the Azure Way, which is about mind, illusions, and the air element. And each one of them has a primary mental stats, as you can see here. So Crystal Way has charisma, and Azure Way has will, Blue Way intelligence, and such. So, and it is important because your mental stat will influence the way the magic works. So Azure Way is a sneaking, insidious energy that can control the will and the perception and the intention of another being. So you can really manipulate him somehow. The Blue Way is about divination, purification, and water element. And disease and poison can be curable with that, and also he has a lot of offensive and defensive potential. Now, one thing that I want to tell you is that pretty much all the ways have offensive spells, right? So even the crystal one. So don't be Don't be concerned about having, choosing a way or ranking up a way and then saying I will not do damage. You can do damage pretty much with all of them. Now there are some that are more inclined to damage, like the red way, but you can do it pretty much with all of them. So blue way also has the control of the water element, but also cold and ice that are very related to this way. The red way is strength, chaos, and fire, and you can obviously summon fire elements, and you can control a lot with this element. The brown way is about nature, protective magic, and earth, and the glyphs of this way give you the ability to do protective spell, like there is, for example, a rock armor spell, right, that is protecting you, and also to summon natural creatures or to transform you into kind of a plant that allows you to protect you better. And the dark way we already spoke about. Remember that each one are divided in realms, so if you click on them, you will see the ranks at which you will be able to access a certain realm. And now that we learned, the realm is the level, right? Let's call it the level of a specific spell. So for example, here we have a crystal spell that is realm number 1, but we can go with a more with a stronger spell, right? That is, for example, this one, and research it, which is recovery, or we can research another spell, like for example this one, right? Or we can research another spell like this one. This one we didn't manage to do it. Yeah, sometimes the research fails, right? And it's failing due to different things. Maybe your mental stamina, maybe the current conditions, maybe how much you already researched other spells, like this one, and now we find it. Yeah, we finally found one spell, which is realm 2, this one, right? Again, these are all spells that you can cast. So to cast a spell, you just click on the spell here and you click on cast. But the best way is really to use your quick bar. And I really suggest you look at my other video on the usage of the quick bar, because I think it will be much easier for you to then configure it and cast spells. But basically what I'm doing now, I'm just dropping this into my quick bar, and I have now an icon representing that, and I can also associate a key, like I will associate the key number 1 as a key binding for casting defensive wind. So what happens now when you press 1, and you should hold it, is that you will see a bar here appearing on the left, right? And you basically have, it's kind of a mini game, right? So you basically have to channel power into the spell, and if you go over the maximum bar, the spell will fail. But if you go very close to the bar that you just saw, right, like this, if you go very close, then you will channel maximum power. And if you just do it at the beginning, if you just click 1 without holding it, right, you will cast the spell at like the minimum level, right? So while you are in combat and you are assigning your spells to your to the keys, then you will be able to decide how much power to channel, and the power that you are channeling is changing the result of the spell. So for example, if it's a summon missile, right, you will do more damage if you have channeled more power, right? And we also use more mana. Yeah, so this is pretty much what I wanted to tell you about spells and magic. There is actually a lot more for the School of Magic. There are NPC dedicated to that. There are you can become a master of the ways. Actually, you cannot become the top of each way, because they are opposing, like we were saying. And so basically the schools of magic do not allow you to become a master of everything. So you will have to choose at the end of your path one of the schools that you really want to master. But there are NPC in the game that can guide you through that. You can learn magic, learn spells, find glyphs, and yeah, happy adventuring. Bye, see you in the next video.